Actually, when I see the narrative of a really good friend of mine like Meek, and people trying to, you know, again, if he was gay, which there's not one gay bone in his body, who cares? Number one, if people want to be gay, it is 2024. Who the f cares? Okay. Number two, there's not a gay bone in his body. So like, why do people want to lie about that?
Why are you doing bunny hops, Meek? Because you got your ass beat in tennis. You got your ass beat. Keep going. Count out loud. Count out loud. Huh?
6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 41, 42.
Keep up.
Man, Mike.
I'm gonna come hug you right now. I'm coming to hug you. Big hug. Get everyone to love you.
When I see people talking about my friend Meek and spreading rumors about him, it's frustrating. First of all, even if he were gay, which he isn't, who cares? It's 2024. If someone is gay, it's perfectly fine, but Meek isn't. There's nothing about him that suggests that. Why do people feel the need to lie about it? And Meek, why are you doing bunny hops just because you lost in tennis? Keep going, count out loud. 4, 6, 7, 9, 41, 42. That's right. And hey, Mike, I'm coming over to give you a hug right now. Let's support each other. Hi, I'm Mandy, and by now you've probably seen all the drama online. The accusations flying around between Meek Mill and his friend, billionaire Michael Rubin, have turned their friendship into a heated public debate. People are questioning Rubin's motives, especially after his recent appearance on The Breakfast Club. During that interview, Rubin was passionate in his defense of Meek, standing up for his reputation as rumors about their relationship intensified. Rubin insists that Meek isn't hiding anything, but his defense didn't quite come across as he likely intended. Check it out on TikTok, he said. It's like I'm being watched and controlled like a puppet by them, as if I'm following Robert and they're pulling the strings. But that's not it at all. This is a man who supported me during one of my hardest times when I didn't have the resources people assume a rapper has. He went on to say, "One thing I've noticed in black culture that I really dislike is the way black people hate on each other." When asked to elaborate, he continued, "It's painful to see black people tearing each other down like this. It's just awful." Despite Rubin's passionate words, it only seemed to spark even more speculation. If you know Meek, you know he's always been open, sharing both his wins and losses with the world. But Rubin's decision to step into the conversation added a new layer to the story, one that didn't necessarily help. Rubin started by saying, if Meek were gay, which he isn't by the way, who cares? He repeated that Meek doesn't have a gay bone in his body and tried to make light of the rumors, even joking about Meek doing bunny hops on the tennis court after losing a match. Rubin described it as just a fun moment between friends. But for fans watching, Rubin's attempts at defending Meek only seemed to add more fuel to the fire, making the situation even more unclear. This isn't just a case of fleeting gossip. Rubin's approach to defending Meek stirred up strong reactions online. People aren't just questioning the nature of their relationship, they're also wondering why Rubin would make such personal comments about Meek's life so publicly. And as if that weren't enough to keep everyone talking, Rubin's statements took an even deeper turn. Rubin began sharing his perspective on the black community, making broad statements about what he calls black hate on hate. This comment steered the conversation into uncomfortable territory, with fans questioning why Rubin feels it's his place to weigh in on such issues. It's worth noting that Rubin isn't just anyone. He's a billionaire who mingles with some of the biggest names in music and sports. Known for his exclusive white parties, where he hosts stars from every industry, Rubin's relationship with Meek Mill has now sparked rumors, blurring the lines between friendship and something more. So, let's take a closer look at this friendship that's caught everyone's attention. Rubin isn't simply a guy hanging out with rappers. He's a high-powered billionaire with considerable influence. As the CEO of Fanatics Inc., a billion-dollar company that dominates the sports merchandise market, Rubin holds a lot of sway. Our Super Bowl party this year, he noted, had NFL team owners saying it was better than the game itself. We just aim to bring the right people together in a room, and great things happen. In a now viral clip, Rubin even spilled some behind-the-scenes stories about his white parties. He mentioned an accident involving his girlfriend that took place at the party. "We've had some significant accidents over the past 2 years," he shared. The first year, at around 3 a.m., Charlie D'Amelio accidentally cut Dixie D'Amelio's finger while trying to slice a bagel, which ended in several stitches. We thought we'd be prepared the following year and brought a medical team for the 350 guests. Rubin went on to describe another incident at the party. party. After a lively performance, he headed to the bathroom. Reflecting on his upcoming 50th birthday, a milestone he found a bit depressing. Suddenly, NBA star Joel Embiid came running, saying, "Michael, you gotta come here. Camille's hurt." At first, Ruben thought it was a prank, but Joel insisted. Ruben realized something serious had happened, and he quickly went to check on his girlfriend. A few weeks before the party, we welcomed our third child, our second daughter, together. My wife had a fainting spell during the party, though I think it was because she tried to keep up drinking with the guys and couldn't handle it. She insists it was a real fainting episode, and it's now a bit of a debate in the Ruben household. She doesn't appreciate me joking about it, but that's my side of the story. Anyway, she ended up falling and getting hurt pretty badly, so I had to leave the party around 12:15 a.m. to take her to the hospital. At first I thought, it's my party, she'll be fine. But then, the EMTs and even Joel were concerned, suggesting she might have a neck injury, so I had to make the call, stay with 300 guests or take her to the hospital. I made the choice to go, which was the right thing to do. Once we got to the hospital, it got even crazier. Another friend of ours, BJ, arrived shortly after. Apparently, she had jumped onto a speaker when Drake started performing and ended up cracking her head open. There was blood everywhere, and she needed about 20 stitches. So here I was with my wife and a friend, both in need of medical attention. Out of 350 guests, we'd already had 3 major injuries. After that, we've decided to increase the medical staff at the party this year. The festivities will start at 5 p.m. and hopefully we'll be a bit more prepared for any accidents. The party went on until 4 a.m. and I actually returned from the hospital after I was sure Camille was okay. I left her there once I knew she was in stable condition. When I came back, I FaceTimed Trav to say I was coming in hot. And even though only about 200 people remained, we partied from 2 o'clock to 4 a.m. in full swing. But here's where things take an interesting turn. Ruben's success isn't just about his own hard work and intelligence. Many believe that his connections and strategic alliances have played a significant role. Observers often wonder if there's more behind the scenes as he navigates elite social circles. While Ruben comes across as approachable, people are now questioning his intentions, especially regarding his connections with young black artists. This isn't the first time such rumors have surfaced. Fans recall the stories about Lil Baby at Ruben's previous white parties, events that have attracted attention and scrutiny. For some, these parties remind them of the controversial gatherings Diddy once held. According to rumors, for up-and-coming artists, these parties were the place to be, but access allegedly came with certain expectations. Speculation intensified after photos surfaced, showing young rappers like Lil Baby and even Meek in relaxed settings with Ruben and other wealthy older men. It's not just the parties people are talking about either. Some rumors reference so-called humiliation rituals, where emerging stars are allegedly pressured into compromising situations to prove their loyalty. While this sounds wild, fans began making connections when videos of Meek doing bunny hops on a tennis court emerged, supposedly just a joke between friends. To some, it appeared to carry a deeper, hidden meaning. Industry insiders have also hinted that Ruben's relationships with black celebrities might involve more than meets the eye. These events have sparked even more discussion in light of the recent lawsuit against P. Diddy, accusing him of running a blackmail operation similar to Jeffrey Epstein's, but within the rap industry for nearly 3 decades. Executives at the top allegedly knew about Diddy's involvement in questionable activities at parties where drinks were spiked, often involving underage girls. Some even suggest that Diddy's homes were wired with cameras, potentially to gather compromising material on high-profile guests, label executives, celebrities, and politicians alike. This background sheds light on the larger narrative surrounding sexual blackmail and influence within powerful networks. To grasp the full picture, you have to understand the history of these practices, dating back to the early days of the FBI under J. Edgar Hoover, who spearheaded the Bureau of Investigation in the 1920s before it became the FBI. J. Edgar Hoover served as the head of the Bureau of Investigation and later the FBI for a total of 48 years, 11 years before the FBI was officially formed, and then 37 years at the helm of the FBI. His tenure stretched from the Great Depression through World War II and into the 1960s and 1970s, covering some of the most pivotal periods in U.S. history. Hoover is widely regarded as one of the most corrupt government officials in American history. To fully grasp the state of organized crime and law enforcement in America, it's crucial to understand both Hoover and the concept of blackmail, especially as it relates to figures like Meyer Lansky, a major Jewish mob boss during the Prohibition era. Lansky is credited with inventing sexual blackmail, using it to gain leverage over Hoover himself. Despite Hoover's role in combating organized crime, Lansky allegedly obtained compromising photos of Hoover with his close assistant, Clyde Tolson, who was reportedly also his partner. With these photos, Lansky managed to keep Hoover from targeting the mob, as Hoover feared public exposure. Once Hoover was blackmailed, he reportedly began participating in blackmail operations himself. He would host gatherings with influential figures in what became known as the Blue Suite at the Plaza Hotel. These parties, rumored to involve cross-dressing and illicit activities, were caught on camera, creating blackmail material on various high-profile attendees. Due to Hoover's compromised position, he had to turn a blind eye to many of the mob's activities, essentially allowing organized crime to operate with minimal interference from the FBI. During the Cold War, the United States experienced the Lavender Scare, a period when the government targeted gay individuals out of fear they could be blackmailed by the Soviet Union. The prevailing belief was that, due to the stigma against homosexuality, gay individuals might go to great lengths to keep their orientation hidden, making them vulnerable to exploitation. This created a cycle of secrecy, fear, and vulnerability. This anti-gay sentiment influenced other spheres, including rap culture. In an industry where many artists project a tough image, the fear of being outed led some rappers to adopt anti-gay stances, while ironically, some were rumored to be gay themselves. The stigma made it easier for those in positions of power to exploit individuals within the industry. Blackmail became a potent tool, capitalizing on this taboo to maintain control and silence over various artists. Enter Diddy, who founded Bad Boy Records at 24 with support from his mentor, Clive Davis. Davis, one of the music industry's most influential figures, helped Diddy rise rapidly. Speculation suggests that Diddy, mentored by Davis, used methods similar to those of earlier blackmail operations in the industry, allegedly creating a web of control through scandal and secrecy. Over 3 decades, some believe that sexual blackmail became a hidden mechanism within the rap industry, ensnaring numerous artists. Figures like Usher, Meek Mill, and even Justin Bieber have been speculated to be part of this controversial narrative, showing how deep and complex these issues run. The music industry today seems filled with artists producing the kind of music that those in control want them to make. These musicians, many of whom glorify gangs and violence, often feel compelled to stay in line for fear of stepping on the wrong toes or facing potential blackmail. Some argue that this cycle is intentional, a way to undermine communities by targeting the younger generation with messages they'll think are cool, while older generations may struggle to speak out without alienating the youth. Recently, Meek Mill's friendship with the powerful music executive Rubin has sparked controversy. Rubin, a wealthy industry figure, seems to have garnered loyalty from top artists, but his influence raises questions. When Rubin casually commented on Meek's orientation, it struck some as oddly specific, adding an unexpected layer of intrigue to their friendship. Rubin then delved into social issues, critiquing what he called black culture and the dynamics within it. Many saw this as condescending, given his outsider status. Although he later apologized, the apology felt hollow to some, more a response to backlash than genuine understanding. The incident also highlighted the double standard. While Rubin could criticize a community he profits from, it's hard to imagine the same tolerance if a black celebrity had publicly critiqued aspects of Rubin's own community. In addition to his statements, Rubin hosts highly exclusive white parties, which have become legendary for attracting top celebrities, athletes, and industry leaders. However, rumors suggest these gatherings might serve more than a social function. Comparisons are being drawn between Rubin's parties and Diddy's infamous events, with whispers about hidden agendas and potential blackmail. Some believe that these parties are opportunities for Rubin to gather compromising information on guests, securing their loyalty in ways that go beyond friendship or business. Rumors even suggest that Rubin's influence in the industry could stem from this control over certain artists. For example, 50 Cent hinted at discomfort with Rubin's close relationships with younger rappers, warning others not to get too close. Yet, despite raised eyebrows and whispers of hidden agendas, many artists like Meek Mill continue to stand by Rubin. Is this loyalty genuine, or is there something more complex going on? Rubin's influence has become a topic of debate. He began his career young and quickly built a multi-million-dollar empire, mastering the art of connecting with key players and building influence. To fans, his success and power might seem like the surface of something deeper. With so many staying close to him despite the controversies, people wonder if his network of parties, loyalty, and influence has created a fortress around him, built on loyalty, fear, or perhaps both.